Hello friends! From the very beginning, the minivan was offered with two diesel engines, an aluminum 1.6 HDI DV series and a cast iron 2.0 HDI DW series. In the secondary market, among the modest list of offers, cars with a 1.6-liter unit dominate. Moreover, during the existence of 5008, this diesel engine managed to adapt to three emission standards. The weakest 110 horsepower 1.6 HDI lasted only a year. It had a pair of overhead camshafts and 16 valves. The engine was necessarily equipped with a particulate filter that can withstand up to 200,000 kilometers. In 2010, the turbo diesel was significantly upgraded to the Euro 5 standard. Since then, the blockhead has only one camshaft and 8 valves. However, the output of the motor increased to 112 horsepower. The changes also affected the common rail injection system. Previously, reliable and durable electromagnetic nozzles from Bosch were used. Updated engines switched to piezoelectric, Continental. Thanks to a more modern injection system, the engine began to work a little quieter. Efficiency improved, but the number of problems increased. However, the point here is not wear as such, but failures in the injector control electronics. In 2011, the eHDI version was introduced with an original start-stop system based on a reversible alternator. Unfortunately, this Peugeot 5008 was offered exclusively with a 6-speed automatic transmission. In the fall of 2012, an even more powerful version of the 1.6 HDI engine appeared under the hood of the Frenchman, developing 114 horsepower. In 2014, a 1.6 Blue HDI modification with a capacity of 120 horsepower was proposed, which already met Euro 6 requirements. The diesel unit was based on an 8-valve design. Major changes included AdBlue technology and, of course, a diesel particulate filter. In addition, the French again returned to Bosch injectors, and instead of a robotic box, they began to install an automatic one with a classic torque converter. A specific modification of the engine can be found by marking on the plate in the engine compartment. The Euro 4 version is designated DV6TED4. The Euro 5 version is DV6C/DV6CTED, and the Euro 6 version is DV6FC. The 2.0 HDI, unlike the younger brother, from the first days complied with Euro 5 standards. The 150 horsepower diesel had two overhead camshafts, 16 valves, and a common rail injection system with Delphi injectors. In 2010, the engine gained strength and began to develop 163 horsepower. Since then, it has been equipped exclusively with a 6-speed automatic transmission. Since 2014, the turbo diesel has already met Euro 6 emission standards, and its power has been limited to 150 horsepower. In addition to diesel units, the asset of the model also included gasoline, 1.6 VTI with 120 horsepower and 1.6 THP with 156 horsepower, but they turned out to be the most unreliable. In 2010, cars with 1.6 TNR, in addition to 6-speed mechanics, received an automatic transmission, and since 2015, turbo versions have been equipped exclusively with an automatic transmission. The 1.6 VTI is quite lively and responsive. Despite the fact that it is less problematic than TNR, minor troubles are unlikely to be avoided. Probably the worst thing an owner can expect is a timing belt failure. However, in the 5008, this defect occurs only occasionally. The 1.6 TNR EP6DT is a good engine in terms of performance, but does not deserve positive recommendations. This is due to a number of defects, many of which are fatal. Common complaints include problems with the timing chain, increased oil consumption, and carbon deposits on the intake valves. However, on later copies with 1.6 TNR EP6 FDT, problems are less common. The 1.6 HDI has a mixed reputation among owners. Long engine life is guaranteed with frequent oil changes. strict adherence to the manufacturer's recommendations to change the oil every 30,000 kilometers for European owners ended in paralysis of the lubrication system due to oil coking. PSA realized their mistake only a year later, reducing the replacement interval to 20,000 kilometers. The Continental Siemens fuel injectors, which began to be installed in 2010 on the 1.6 HTI of the DV6C, DV6C TED series, turned out to be quite capricious. Since 2014, reliable Bosch fuel equipment has been used again. Adds worries and an exhaust gas cleaning system. After 150 to 200,000 kilometers, there are errors in the NOx sensors, or the Eolus fuel additive injection pump. The NOx sensor is located under the bottom where it is exposed to moisture. An error in the additive injection pump is sometimes solved by replenishing the supply of Eolus fluid. It is enough for about 150,000 kilometers. In most cases, owners decide to remove the particulate filter and programmatically disable the exhaust gas cleaning system and the particulate filter. The 2.0 HDI, in terms of reliability, is perhaps the best engine of the Peugeot 5008 asset. The robotic 6-speed automatic transmission is designated by the BMP6 index. In service practice, it is known as ISA. The box represents the second generation of robots from PSA. Unlike the firstborn, the robot turned out to be more successful, and instead of an electric clutch